Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to City Skylines 2. Today we are starting our build of our new city, Turo Canyon, and this is going to be a realistic city build. We're going to follow along, pretty much take it one square at a time maybe, or expand into certain spots, but just let it flow. I mean, honestly, let's not put too much thought into this. And by too much thought, I mean overthinking it. We want to make it something that just seems like it flows. It really works out well. So this is a custom map that we are on. I will link this map down in the description. That way you guys can follow along if you want to. So now we are going to, this is a railway system that we have over here. This is the entrance that we have. So it already has a little roundabout and a second roundabout that we're going to build off of. I sort of want to take this and just extend it down through. So this is going to extend down through, over, bridge, another section, and we got another roadway over here that we're able to connect to as well. So we do have anarchy and such on, so if I wanted to build this road out right now, I can. That's a possibility that you might see. I will link most of the mods and stuff that I am using down in the description. But what we're going to do is this is a 6-lane road right off the bat coming right in. So we want to make sure that we keep our hierarchy. So we're going to take that and run a 6-lane road off of it. The road hierarchy is going to be something that alleviates some issues here in the future whenever we are building out. I don't know how much we want to expand off of this roundabout. First coming in, this is going to have a lot of traffic to it. But it's almost something that maybe that alleviate things in the future as well. So we'll play with it, we'll see what's going on with it, and we'll go from there. But what I want to do is just make sure that whenever I come to make the train depot over here, this has a spot to go. And I do apologize if you guys can hear some vehicles driving in the background. It has been very humid here, so my window is open. So I apologize for that. We're actually going to... No, I don't want to anarchy that. We want to keep this in here. So almost line it up with that line. Okay. So we sort of just swung out wing style onto those two areas. We're going to want to keep the amount of intersections off of this middle piece to very minimal. Right now it's going to be an intersection up here, but eventually I'm going to want to do a roundabout. We want to make sure that we can start grabbing straight lines here, because that sometimes makes those spots where you get the lines down through, and we want to make sure our gridding's pretty decent. So we got this here. Now remember, this is going to be, if I truly wanted to right off the bat, I would go up here, and this would be me submitting to low density. But what we're going to do, we're going to sort of follow the rules a little bit, and I'll go anarchy, and we're going to swap out eventually a lot of the low density that I have sitting in the city, and it's all going to go medium density and stuff. This is going to be our main city, our port area, because we got a lot of stuff sprawling through here that comes through. The port's probably going to sit over in this way. City's going to sit more over in here, and you're going to have a lot of farms and stuff that go up through this way. Wow, this is beautiful up in here. This might be something where we create like a little farm town or something going on up over here. So there's a lot of stuff that I do have planned. But let's grab... I want to continue taking this out this way. This is getting a little too tight. don't want it to be that tight. I guess I also don't want it to go the whole ways over that way because we do have the train station. That's going to have to be put down there at some point. So we don't want to take up too much of that room. That train station is going to go there. That's going to be more or less our passenger station. What are we looking at over here? We're going to have to find a way to mount this into this. This is such a beautiful intersection. I'm going to mount this into this because this is going to be like a cargo ports, industry area. Hopefully that works. I honestly can't see. Where's that air pollution? So we do have the air flowing that way. So we want to keep industry over here at some point. And we do have power lines coming in, which is awesome. So let's take this straight up. We're actually gonna pop it the whole way through. We're gonna turn anarchy on here because it's just getting me set up for the point that I can have that there at some point in the future. I also then want to get rid of anarchy. We're gonna pop off of this section right here just because it has that line already to it. We're just getting a sort of layout for this right now. And we don't want to create an intersection too soon after the roundabout. That's another thing too. This might cause a problem here in the future. But I wanted most of this to be based off of the secondary street and not the first street here. And we got some 2-lane, which can be 3-lane asymmetricals in here. Honestly, these might be better off if they're one-ways. So I like to do a sort of flowing feature here. I try to alleviate as much of the traffic as possible. So 90-90, and then right there is one more. And 90-90. Okay, because this is going to start turning and stuff now. And you'll notice that I really don't use simple curve or complex curve. I like to do the continuous because it just gets you a better flowing road system. I think that trying to use this stuff to the point that you make it too much almost. Right there. Okay, so we got that connected in. We're gonna take this here, and we're gonna take this here. So that leaves us some room to do something here, larger buildings that can get placed down. But that also grids us out to a point that we're going to have some density in through here. And let's take this straight out some more. That's going to end up flowing as our city frontal. We don't want it to get a whole ways to the shore though, because that wouldn't be hierarchy. Let's get this lined up. Awesome. Exactly what I wanted to do there. Okay, so now that's out that way. And we got this. $180. Awesome. So now this can all get gridded out and be something as well over here. At this point currently, it's going to be some industrial area. So we'll have industrial, we'll have sort of spot for the power to get onto the grid here. There we are. So this will be, I know it looks very basic coming out of here, but this is going to be so gridded out. And it's most commonly going to do something like this, if I'm honest. I'll come straight out here, and this is probably going to get keyed, like almost right there. That's going to start a key wall. So like we're probably, unfortunately, this sandy beach here, we are probably going to get rid of it. We'll actually take it right here. And before we do all that, there has to be a thing that we need to remember. If you're doing the key walls and you're going to do it this way, you need to make sure that you set your level at what you want it at and run that completely over everywhere that you want the key walls. And that just levels you out all nicely. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend this road. I know that we're out of bounds right now. Why are you even doing this, Chase? It's not even worth it right now. And we got some curves. I know a lot of people are going to say like, oh, you shouldn't do curves in the industry area and stuff of the sorts. Well, that's not how I follow it. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I have around here, industrial park wise, I mean, their main roads and stuff swirl through, and there's a lot of straight, jagged edges that come off of it, and big things that are built in there. So it's sort of, I'm building sort of off of what I've seen in my time. So that's gonna be that there. This is. Hopefully this doesn't ground pollute the water very quickly, is all I am worried about. So we'll do a groundwater pumping station. If we do it right there. And then we also need to hit the power grid. So that power grids us in, that gives us our water pumping station, and this is going to be the start of some low density that goes in here. So we got low density there, and then on our main area out here, that's North American, yes. On our main area out here, we're going to get just some of that. Just a little bit in every direction. So that's going to allow us to start getting some people moving in here. We're going to speed this up. So far, we're getting there. Looking good. Two-followed road system there. This is going to come straight up through. Probably don't want it to connect in there. Probably want it to connect somewhere sooner than that. I know that they're going to, the demand for commercial is just always extreme to me. So, thank you. We're gonna go 5 deep along there. Just seems like a correct spot. So we already got some low density row housing that we're going to get here. Not sure of where I honestly want to set row housing at. Row housing is a thing that you really got to be careful with for the fact of if I were to start here, it's going to build off this road. So we want to start our painting here and grab a few of those. And now once that's built in, it's only going 4 back, so you don't want to build here because then it will not work. So we'll take that. And what I tend to like to do is come over 4, come here like that, and build a shop right here in the back of that. That allows you to then throw some more row housing on this side of the street and fill it in correctly. So that is looking great. I have something in here. Let me check this real quick because I do have something in here. At least I thought. No. I do want that. But I didn't. There was something in here that I thought I had for. Whenever I go in to build this stuff, it didn't show up this way. Okay, so we have a clinic that we need to do here. Then we can do row housing clinics. We can also do normal medical clinics, small. We're going to do the Northeastern Medical Clinic. This is pretty much what this is going to be. I know it's dumb because, like, oh, where do you get the beaches and stuff like this? New Jersey. I'm not from New Jersey, though. So let's grab... place that here. And now this is a good thing that I love about Anarchy. So Anarchy allows us to do this. So this is outside of our city, but I can still 100% place this out here. And I can also make a landfill that makes absolute sense. So instead of being stuck to this line here, I can actually come out and past it. So what this allows me to do is truly more or less focus on getting something that is functional and has size to it than it is for me to, excuse my stomach there, should have ate this morning. Like this is tons. So we won't take that there. Actually, I don't want, I guess we can do that. But I don't want this node. Well, I don't know if that's going to be completely straight. That has 2,500 tons that we can put into there. The only reason why it doesn't have more than that, I don't know what I'm doing with the roads yet, so we might extend that in the future. But that did get set outside the square there. And I don't have to buy a square yet, so that does help save us some money, which is nice. And we got a cemetery. Awesome. So you'll notice that sometimes I'll accidentally leave Anarchy on and this stuff overlaps. It's not me trying to do that. There we go. But another thing that annoys me a little bit is that once you get some spots set up, this is... this needs extended over here. So luckily we do have the surfaces tool. So actually we'll jump onto this node here and we'll actually extend that out That's what we'll want to do with all these nodes. And this is just going to make it that it is completely uniform with the sidewalk over here. Awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. And there's a possibility that we'll just move that down like that. And that like that. Just for the fact of there might be something that I can set on here, but I don't want things to be cluttered right there in that corner of that. Okay, so we need more row housing. I'm guessing row housing, we're going to keep it consistent out here. Let's see. Let's get it up behind the hospital. I don't know how much they want. I try to keep it very limited if I can. But we also need to expand this a little bit more. So let's grab some more 4-lane roads. That has the key wall on the right hand side of it, and we do not want that. Okay. We also want this to just be straight. Thank you. Maybe drop that in like that. We have a lot of 4-lane roads here. We do have some hierarchy here because these are 2-lane roads. We might go one more 2-lane road. I'm not sure what I want here, honestly. I don't know if I want to preserve this whole spot or not. I almost feel like if I were to take this and not even do like a full length apart. Almost like that gives a little bit nicer of a space, and we can throw some buildings down here. Get a little shop out front here. Awesome. So we have a large demand for row houses. Just plop those in. We can plop those in as well, because they'll just stay directly on the straightaway. Okay. So now we want to make sure that, okay. So like I can make that sit anywhere in here that I want. What's that do to my upkeep that much? Okay. So that will probably, I don't want that to lock onto the owner. I want that to lock on there. So that takes up, what is that, 4, 5, 6, 8 squares. This takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares away from it on that side too. So we just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have this here. This is where we're going to be at. 3-lane asymmetrical. Out slightly. And now our big thing is this here. We'll take that. Okay. That gets us our insight there. Three-lane asymmetricals. And I just don't, okay, so that flows that way, flows that way. This has a double flow going in there. Okay. You also see that I usually stop a couple squares before I tie in because I've seen it a bunch of times where it looks like it's going to go straight and then you click it and it drops down like 2 spots and your road's completely crooked. So I do stop there for a second. But do we have a lot of people coming in here already? I know that I came back onto here and I tried doing a city for myself. That way I could just get back into the hang of things. And I got absolutely murdered by traffic within like the first few minutes. Keep this on a 2-lane straight that way. And a 2-lane straight that way. Okay, that gives us a little spot that we can do a park or something here. I noticed that these are both wider. Wasn't something I really aimed for. I just wanted to keep this roadway going along. That way it had some, like I'm going to be saying a lot here, hierarchy. So we'll throw that in there. Awesome. Musicians Rock Mansion. Exactly what I wanted right now. So there's 5. There's that. And we're going to throw some low density shops down in here. And I think we're getting a pretty decent expansion on here. I know that we want to probably that tile just so we can start putting some more industry up in this area, because I don't want to be building industry in a spot that is going to cause pollution in areas that I don't want there to be pollution. So like that gets extended out there now, so that wasn't completely straight on with that. There's 180. See, but that was clicking back and forth, so we do 180 and then I'll find it at some point. Okay. That wasn't clicking into... There we go. See, that's why you gotta do some little spots there sometimes. That was not clicking through whatsoever for me. So let's grab this here. Just getting our industry area taken care of. And what I will do here actually at some point is the grass and stuff that's below here, like I'll show you guys right now. We'll actually take concrete surface 1 and we will draw a node, and we'll draw it the whole ways between all of these. So I like it to actually flow out into the roadway a little bit, and the reason for that is you don't have to be precise on all these angles down here. Guess I didn't need it there exactly. And that just creates that whole area being concrete. It just seems a little nicer to me whenever it really comes to it. Adds a little pop, some pizzazz. Okay, so there's not a lot more than row houses that we can do right now. And I mean, honestly, I'd rather have. Oh, we got medium density. Awesome. So we can start swapping at some point here. Medium density is what I'm really going to be pushing for. Medium density, high density in these areas. If I'm honest with you, I would be more or less up in this area. So I mean, honestly, if I truly want to, we could buy this for 85, and we can have. So luckily we bought that. We could take this, upgrade this to a 2-lane road. Because just because it's driving off into the hills doesn't mean it has to be a full-on dirt road. But that looks like it is a path up into the hills. Awesome. And just get a little bit of like a neighborhood going on over here. So we can take this. This doesn't even have to come out of here perfectly. But like this hill here, just follow that hill right up through. That can give us a very beautiful spot there. I do not like you, sir. I want this ground level. That's not going to work, is it? Okay, let's see what we can do here. We're going to have to flow this slightly differently than what we were doing. Awesome. Okay. Got us a little bit more of that hillscape that we can work with. City's still doing stuff over there. Awesome. Get this little spot here that connects through. There's a ton of people out there driving on those wet roads. It's been non-stop raining here for almost like a week straight now. Okay, so this can be our little. I mean, we're going to do. Of course, I think it's only right to do waterfront homes there. Of course, that doesn't have any. That has power that goes to it, but this does not have water that runs from there to these, so we just gotta connect it. But we should be fine after that. And this should get our. Ooh. Not what I want in here, sir. We're gonna have to paint some small homes in here. And then we'll have to take the terrain tool and we will soften the terrain. Not what I was expecting to do, but guess you sort of have to do it. Sort of saddening. Sort of saddening, but at least in the end, it's going to look great. So we'll just keep messing with it. Definitely get a full spot on that. Definitely get a full spot on that. This can have a full spot. Some of these spots will work out good. Other ones just digging way too much into the ground. Wish they would contour a little bit more. If that could be something that I could fix, it would be something that I would fix. Just love that as soon as I'm placing these down, they're just instantly getting built on. It's helping me see what's going on. These can be larger just for the fact that I can soften the terrain a little bit easier on this outside piece. And these should be able to just plop right in. Just the development over here. Just had a ton of people move in. Okay. So, honestly, with the way that this is, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to look whenever we were in there. I just want to soften this. Just soften this out. So we want to, okay, slope and then soften. But hey, we act like we've never seen people live on hills before. Get that on. Just gotta use it just slightly on that slope. There we go. Looks beautiful over there. And we're going to do the same thing up in here. This is a little bit easier for me to go ahead and slope out. So we're just doing quick clicks. I'm pretty sure that you can hear it. But if you just get it right up on there and then quick click it out. Don't want it to be completely smooth. We still want to have some some stuff going on over here. Don't want it too bad though. Awesome. That looks absolutely great. We need a school, not residential signature buildings. We're looking at a small elementary school down here. That's absolutely disastrous out back, so we're actually going to move that and not do that there at all. What we're going to do is we're going to place the school up in here. Awesome. And what is this? An expansion wing. Yeah, we can have it. And we're going to come off of this a little bit more. We're losing a ton of money. Oh, actually, we are starting to gain money. So we're having enough people move in that we're starting to gain some money. But we also have an issue with police. So police station is something that we have something small here that we can do. Or we can go straight to 20 and just plop the police station down to help out. That's 100, that's 220, that's only $120,000 more. You get triple the amount of pretty much everything, if not almost quadruple. And we will take this and plop it on the main road there. And we will take the fire department. And what do we have here? We got a firehouse that we can do. We do not want that on a 2-lane road. We would prefer to have this on a main strip road. Honestly, it might be... Let's take that off. Right there. Might be the best that we can do, is putting them next to each other. And while we are in these beginning stages here, before we start moving into anything else, we should start thinking about bus depots, taxi depots. So we have a lot of taxis coming in from outside. Causes traffic. Going to cause a lot of traffic up in here. So we want to get the taxi depot taken care of as soon as possible on our front. So we will have the taxi depot. We'll set the taxi depot up over here, so that way that can be expanded. But we have taxi shelters, so we will set them outside of the stores. We will set them outside of there. We'll follow down the row housing. Just a couple spots. I know doing that, so one thing that you'll see is now this whole side of this road is completely open up. But it's fine, because whenever we do bus routes and stuff too, since this whole side of this road is open up, it's going to allow spots for people to duck into. Now, I don't think that... No, it does still happen whenever you do that. So, we want to take one right here in front of there. We're going to want to get some down in front of the row housing here. Now, because we are removing away street parking, remember we are going to have to put parking lots in eventually. So, keep that in mind. That is on the wrong side of the street. So if you ever have something that shows up like that, it's because you actually placed the stuff on the wrong side of the street whenever it is going down. If it's on the North American front, since it's going that way, it needs to be on the right hand side. Since it's coming towards me, it needs to be on the left hand side. Going away, right hand side. Coming towards me, left hand side. We'll just drop those in the middles. And we'll drop some over in here as well. Because more than likely, This is where a lot of people are trying to get to. So the more shelters, the merrier. Exceed city limits, which is fine. We'll turn on anarchy, and there we go. Doesn't feel safe coming out at night because of crime. Well, the police station is here, so don't worry about it. We got the taxi cabs. That should all be starting up here. Now we got the parks. So we do have 28 of these. The progression, I want roundabouts. Roundabouts are going to make my life a lot easier. And service roads and parking areas. And highways. And large roads and intersections. Those are some big things that we do need. When we're looking at fire services right now and stuff, we don't really need any of them. We could take welfare office just so it helps some people out. We have 15 of those left. We do want park maintenance and large parks. What do we have here? We want train and tram and stuff, just because we sort of want to start getting this stuff placed down now. This always seems like an afterthought for most people. Not what you want. You want to make this decision here early whenever we're coming to. And we need the crematorium and the hospital. Awesome. So we got all those taken care of. We do not have anything leisure-like going on in the city. That was a big reason of why I wanted to get something situated here. So these parks here, which I don't like whenever it... So I wanted to snap to the side of the road. But I want it to be completely centered. And we're going to do this on both sides. That doesn't do what I want it to do. Unless I take that back. So that is a roadside. That's looking at there. Let's get this straightened up. Just set in right there. So what I'm able to do, these the Chirper Fun Time Parks, not what I wanted. Honestly, we can keep that one on this side. I'm not too against it. Multi-purpose park. This is the hedge park, okay. So I wanted to take that. Just want everything to be even, is what I want. And then this allows us to take our paths. And your paths get to scroll right down through. We're going to do a feature here in the center, so don't be freaking out about the straight lines. Got that there. This will flow into that as such. Got that there. But also want, with anarchy on, I can do paths like that, which I really like certain paths. Awesome. I think that's pretty... I think the only other thing that you can have here is maybe something like that. And that gets us a little park area there. Now what I want to do is, let's pause this for a second because we're losing money at this point. And I want to go down 10 meters. And I want this brush size to be a lot smaller. So there's that. And I need... I thought there was a way to set water. Unless I fill it up with poop. That would be about the only way that I could do something here, probably. I just really thought that there was a way for me to... Transforming, there's the trees, sidewalks, concrete, rocks. Couldn't move the rocks, so we had to go around it. Oh, tombstones and stuff, okay. Didn't know that was a thing that we did. And then I want this little fountain right there. Gazebo down here off the side. Some park benches every now and again. It's a park bench. There's two more, and they're different colors. That's amazing. Why would we do... I guess we want to... Why would we do that? I do not want them 6 meters apart. I want them about 3. Get this back in here. Maybe a few. Over here by the fountain. They're all different colors, which is great. I love it. Definitely not complaining about that. And then a few right here. Just so they can be there. And then we want some trash cans throughout. We want individual placements now. There's a trash can right inside there. Where else? Over here by the fountain. Just want to make sure people aren't throwing stuff away when they shouldn't be. Maybe we got some kiosk out here. There's that and a small stage. I always like doing these small stages because it seems like it's just something that makes sense. So if you put like a small stage, we can then take a tile surface And we just extend the tile surface. 90. There. 90. And then to there. Needs to be slightly longer on this side. There we go. So now we got something like that all set up, and then you can take, what do we got here? Do we got fences anywhere? So I'm pretty sure if I go to, what is this again? Find it. What is the key binding for find it? Control F. Oh, awesome. So we want a fence. Park fence? Yes, fences, okay. So like if you search fence, you get a lot more than if you just search, and then if you just go to fences. We want a low wall is what it's going to be. And we want to I hope this doesn't make it that they are not side by side. I don't want them. I don't want them snapping to a distance. Ah, I see. Okay. So not really what I'm looking for here. See, I liked that there was a way back in City Skylines. One, to draw a fence. Because that just made sense whenever it came to it. Just absolutely made sense. So that is upsetting that we don't have a way to do that. Let me see what we got here. Fences. What if we do... Transform lock. Snap to distance. Snap to 90-degree angle. And they all come out a different color. Okay. Well, not too focused on it then at this point. And we want to get a few birch trees placed up in here. Dope. And then we'll do this here, which only that, and we don't want anarchy on. So make sure that if you are doing anything dealing with anarchy, that you turn it off before you start placing trees. And the trees go right over that. I completely forgot. Just some birch trees down through here. Okay, got our little park area there. But I think this is where we are going to stop for the first episode. So we do got our little city coming along. I need to figure out a way to fill that with water, so that might be something that we do next time. Got a little industrial area starting and our residential up in here. Just that nice flowing residential. And of course we got some waterfront properties. Yes. So we'll see if we can go ahead and get this pumped in some way, and we will go from there. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.